what would you like to see from leaders in the industry to help your career flourish, right? And I think one thing I want to highlight here, especially as I've interviewed some of the leaders in the industry, if you like, is that who do you define and what sort of
Mm.
role do you define as the end goal for yourself, right? Because your mantle will be different to whatever everyone else is, right? It's assumed that it's the CISO. It could be the reporting lines of the CISO as well in terms of where you want to go, or it could be completely different, So before you answer what they could do more, maybe define who the leaders in the industry are for you,
Mm.
possibly from a job title standpoint or person's up
No,
to you.
definitely. Yeah, I have been quite fortunate to have engagement with like leaders within the industry and people potentially on that top kind of platform, both through CISO alliances and like friends and mentors and that kind of thing, and being able to have that open line of communication that I know isn't the norm from that perspective. So for me, kind of that end goal,
Mm.
I'll say end goal in inverted commas again. We talk about the railings. I
Yeah.
have an idea, but like we gotta be able to plan for that. So yeah, plan for deviations. So for myself, CISO, I mean it's got a nice ring to it. Like that's pretty cool. But I like the application of it. I don't really care about titles or anything from that front. Like it's cool and it's nice and it
Mm.
looks nice on LinkedIn and a CV and all of that. And look, make your title look nice. It's cool. Like I said, looks nice on a CV if you're applying anywhere else and anything from that perspective. But I
Yeah.
enjoy having chatted to a few CISOs. I enjoy the kind of day-to-day business development, driving the company in a certain direction, and that kind of level. I enjoy that, and still being in the
Mm.
trenches to a certain degree, but equipping the people that are actively in the trenches within your company and allowing them to flourish. And I really enjoy that kind of perspective and building a cyber team out and everything on that nature. So that's where, having chatted to CISOs, I kind of defined that role without the title in my head, and then chatted to CISOs and was like, okay, cool, this
Yeah. Yeah.
matches up. So that's kind of what I'm going for. And
Mm.
that front. Then I've chatted also to some founders of companies and owners and that kind of thing on smaller companies that
Hmm.
kind of do that CISO role because they don't have enough people to have an official C-suite and everything of that nature. And I really enjoy that. And I think that's where my
Hmm.
my like BCom kicks in a little bit of kind of business as a whole, but from a cyber perspective. So I think
Yeah.
that's really cool. And I can definitely see myself, if not CISO, maybe my own thing slash with a partner slash equity, whatever that looks like. But as long as it looks like driving business development as a whole, with a cyber perspective to it, obviously being the industry that I'm in and passionate
Hmm.
about. So it's more that front than a specific, I want to be X title. I don't think, I mean, I could start a company tomorrow and slap myself with CISO and yay, goal achieved. Like that's not necessarily where, like,
Yeah.
again, like titles aren't necessarily the be all end all for myself from that perspective.
No.
So CISO fits the mold that I've kind of, or the job description that I've created in my head. So I definitely kind of see myself from that perspective. So then jumping into the what do I want to see from the people on the top to kind of help us youngsters, coming in and building us up from that perspective. And I think kind of twofold. One is kind of put your paths out there, and I know through CISO alliances you are going through that and chatting to people that have come through this all, because there isn't a very linear path. There's no, well, now they're coming out, but like when I was at Vast and everything, very, very few institutions offering cybersecurity degrees. It's usually, okay, cool, you got like IT dev
Hmm.
or something of that, computer science, and then maybe you migrate to the cybersecurity world, but there's no set path. So it's very tough from like us sitting on the bottom going, cool, where do I put my next step? Because no one's really giving me an indication. So by people putting their journeys out there going, cool, I can catch some similarities there or there or there with this person. Now at least I know, cool, next step can be here or it's there, and you can kind of build that ladder. Maybe a little bit wonky, but it's still a ladder going up, which is cool. And just yeah, having that open, and then yeah, second fold was not only tell your story but talk to the people on the bottom. And like I said, I've been very fortunate to be able to talk to people. And kind of then a word of advice to the people in my position is just talk to them. They are people. They put their pants on one leg at a time. Like it's very much that perspective. Yes, they might have a cool title and everything, and obviously have that level of respect. Don't go jumping on them when they're super busy and they're dealing with an incident or anything of that nature. But if they are in a position where you can talk to them at a conference or something like that, and even if it's just a hi, I follow you on LinkedIn, really like what your company or what you do, that's cool. Just that little introduction, and maybe next time you can have further conversations. And I've had examples like that, and just kind of opening that line of communication and chat to them. They're all techies at heart, and they enjoy cyber as much as you do. Get them going on that, and you can probably find some common ground. So then the caveat to that, to the people on the top, is entertain those conversations with the youngsters. They're just interested.
Yeah.
Yes, they might be a little bit naggy and the pain sometimes, but they're just really interested. And they look up to you in those positions because they want to one day be there. And also understand that one day they will be there. You will be replaced. There is that kind of succession from there. So ensure that that succession is a good one, and that you're able to pull in someone underneath you and mentor and have that structure to go, cool, when I leave here, this organization that I'm at or whatever, just the industry at large is still going to be good, and it's still going to thrive, and it's still going to be secure, and all the work I've done to get it to a certain point, this person's going to take it and level it up. It's not going to be a cool, I built it up to here and I'm really hoping they just maintain that, because unfortunately in the cyber world we can't just maintain. It's not a tick box exercise, it's a continual journey, so we need to constantly level up. So bring in the people to be able to level up, but they're also not just going to arrive on the scene being able to go, cool, I've got this, boom, up. You need to give them those, throw them a brick so they can build the foundation. You can't just expect them to have it. So yeah, twofold there.
Yeah.
Youngsters, talk to the old people.
No, I think
talk to the youngsters, kind of thing, and share the journeys. I think that's very important from that perspective. No journey looks the same. It's not very linear in the cyber world at all. It's also, we say we work in cyber. I mean, that's so many different areas. Blue teaming, red teaming, there's purple teaming now. Like there's so many different facets to it. So it can be very overwhelming from someone at the bottom going, I don't know where to go. Is this the right step? Isn't it? And it's very easy to look at the top when you've kind of made it, going, oh, well, it's easy. I know because you've been through it, and I know that this does that and this does that, and you should do this in order to do that, and that kind of thing. It's very easy to have that perspective. Whereas sitting on the bottom, I don't have that perspective.
Yeah.
I don't have cool, I've been in here for 20, 25 years. I know every bit of the industry. I'm going, do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I go 10 other paths in between? And yeah, it's a lot from that perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what potentially gets overlooked is that they were in the same position as what a lot of you guys are now. Even this industry, or the CISO job function, if you like, is around 20 odd years old. I've been impacting it now for about 11 years in my remit.
Definitely, yeah.
As well, right? But again, it's varied. But it varies. It varies across the board, and I think what doesn't happen enough is an opportunity to benchmark against each other's journeys. And it is no right and wrong, right? The reality is there's people in certain roles fulfilling the job function, and they're always looking, or should be looking, to replace themselves or improve their teams, and that's not just going to happen by doing it within their own network, right? They need to be able to welcome the perspectives wider and also nurture the perspectives, right, by feeding back into it. And so many people do, but so many people don't. And I think it's because they potentially fear not mismanaging expectations a little bit with it. Just be completely transparent with it. We all know that this industry is not bells and whistles, right? We know that it's not all fun and games. But there's a lot of fulfillment and there's a lot of challenges within it, and I think that's what people need to hear. Again, not from a misleading standpoint, but from a transparent standpoint in terms of, the expectations on a CISO and the business division and the department. It's a lot, but again, if you're one of those people that really has that hero complex a little bit and wants to save the company from certain or mitigate certain risks, or overcome them if they breach, then that's the role for you. I think
No,
I think
definitely.
that's the reality. Mate, it's been a pleasure to chat with you. This initiative has been born off the back of my chats with yourself and Warren and Jabu more recently. There's an opportunity for myself with the alliances to be able to nurture the next generation and to create a platform for them to leverage and benchmark against each other and collaborate earlier in their careers rather than when they're at the top, which is where I've entered with the alliances, right? So I'm really grateful to you guys for embracing it and committing time to it when you have the time, which I know you don't have much of. But yeah, great to chat with you, mate. Thanks very much for your insights. For the listeners, I hope you found some affinity to it, or sparked an opportunity for you to get involved in something like this or with us. Please do reach out if you want to do that. But I'll leave you get back to your Friday, Jared. Enjoy the weekend, mate, and thank you very much for the time.
Yeah, thanks to the listeners and everything. If you do want to reach out and chat or anything of that nature, pop me a message on LinkedIn. Always keen to chat, but yeah, thank you, Lee, for your time, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your Friday and weekend further.